Welcome to the Unpopped Review, movie reviews from a movie lover and not a movie critic. From the director that only seems to be able to do one thing, and that's destroy the Earth, comes a sequel to the 1996 classic. This is Independence Day: Resurgence. Now before we begin, I just have to say how much I love Independence Day. And as I've grown up, I have noticed that I wouldn't necessarily call it a good movie, but I do find it enjoyable. There are moments of Independence Day that I would still consider some of my favorite moments in movies of all time. And with that, I was super excited for Independence Day: Resurgence. Even though I went in with pretty low expectations, I still hoped he would pull it out and make an entertaining movie. So let's go and start by talking about what's good about Independence Day: Resurgence. The world building. I really like the technology that's been built since the 20 years that's passed since the alien invasion. And I thought they did a good job of showing what it would be like 20 years after an event like that. So I thought the world building was very unique and interesting and honestly very truthful. I even liked the overarching story. I liked the explanation they gave of why the aliens would return, and how we as humans would fight back in face of this second, even bigger destruction. Now besides the world building and the overarching story, those were the only good things that I felt were in Independence Day: Resurgence, so let's go on to the First, let's talk about the graphics. Now, the first Independence Day holds the world record of having the most miniatures in any movie. And they've been able to hold on to that record because after 1996, a lot of the shift moved into computer graphics. And about 70% of the time, I thought the graphics were pretty good. A lot of the dogfights, the ship designs, and things like that were pretty good. But when it came to actors standing in front of a green screen, which was then rendered with computer graphics, it just looked completely and utterly fake. So it really hurt when some graphics looked great and some graphics looked absolutely terrible. And then let's move on to the acting and the characters. Now just like the first Independence Day movie, this movie tries to throw in a lot of characters, trying to get different points of view from many different people. And while that kind of worked in the first Independence Day movie, this one just felt a little too overstuffed. Even about 45 minutes to an hour into the movie, they were still introducing new people, and it was just a bit too much. And on that note, this movie really hurt by not having Will Smith. I wouldn't say he was the best part of Independence Day, but he was one of the best. And his chemistry with Jeff Goldblum was absolutely perfect. And they tried to reenact that with these two new characters, but it just didn't work the same. Especially the character that played Will Smith's son just did not have the charisma or the charm or the likability that Will Smith has. So they tried to make Liam Hemsworth be that charismatic guy, but he just seemed more like a jerk. And although I did kind of like Jeff Goldblum and Bill Pullman in this movie, they just didn't have enough interesting or good lines or things to do to make him a good character. And with that, let's go and move on to the ugly. The ugliest thing that I thought was in this movie were actually some of the deaths. Now in all of these world destruction movies, there are always millions and millions of people that are dying. And so I didn't expect anything less in this one. But there were certain moments where big characters, I mean really big characters, died. And the impact, the emotional impact just wasn't there. And then there are other characters that are killed off that we don't even care about, that are focused on much more than the deaths of the characters that we do care about. And so it was just kind of uneven trying to get us to like these characters even though we like these other characters, and it just didn't really work. And the last thing that was ugly is it was just overall a little slow and a little boring. Now I wouldn't say it was super boring because there were still moments that were pretty exciting. Some of the dogfights, some of the explosions, some of the ships coming in, stuff like that. It was pretty neat. But when that stuff wasn't happening, it was just a lot of talking, a lot of planning, a lot of doing nothing. So overall, even though Independence Day: Resurgence isn't a great movie, I would consider it at least a worthy sequel to the first one. And they did set it up perfectly for a sequel, and I'm honestly really excited to see how that goes. So with all of that, I think Independence Day should be seen at a matinee showing. So that's what I thought of Independence Day: Resurgence. What did you think? Leave your comments below, don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember to always keep it unpopped.